I'm upset. No disrespect, respectfully. But disrespectfully is disrespect. Don't be disrespectful. Those vile, disgusting Spartans, poor little bro them. And I'ma tell them why I'm mad. That vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus, the other state, and of course, as always, I'm upset. Good evening, good people. It is I, the Maze Mad Man. Hit that like button. Share with your friends and family on social media. Let's start right there. Secondly, I gotta tell you all that I really appreciate all of you, and I have to thank you all for the birthday wishes. Another lap around the sun. You know, thank whoever you thank. I've done my thanks. Thank you for the birthday wishes, though. Shout out to each and every one of you. I appreciate it. And I tried to respond to everybody who said happy birthday. And if I didn't respond to you personally, it wasn't anything personal. It's just that I missed it, and I'm sorry for that. But thank you anyway. I'm telling you now, thank you. That said, we have things to talk about today. I'm gonna bring people up in a minute. I'll put the link in the chat later on. Don't worry about it. We are working on some things. Let me tell you this. I checked out a live. I'm not gonna say who it was or where I checked it out, because I don't want to get into the business of back and forth with other YouTubes or whatever. But that said, I check it out. They have a guest on, and it's none other than number one Michigan hater. Actually, he probably number two, because there's another person out there, another group out there that we won't name by name. But number two Michigan hater, Justin Spiro, was on, and of course he's spewing what he's spewing about the scandal and what he thinks will and should happen. But I say that to prep you guys for this. I am working personally on getting Justin Spiro right here live on this channel so that we can have that healthy conversation and try to see why, even though his team gets stuffed in the locker annually by the Buckeyes, as well as, Big Bro, that he has chosen sides here. And we want to get to the bottom of that, as well as some other things. So we're working on that right now behind the scene. But it will be. I also need to preface this. We're gonna have to be respectful, right? Nobody is gonna be in the chat taking personal shots. We're not doing that. We're gonna let him have his piece. We're gonna speak our piece, and we're gonna let it be peace. All right. Let me say that. All right, cool. Because we don't want to be like other channels. That's one of the things that I think we've been getting out of hand with here on the Maze Mad Man channel. I don't want to be like anybody else. That's one of the things that set me apart originally, is that I wasn't trying to be nobody else, right? And I don't want to turn into anybody else. And by that, I mean the chat. As you can see, you probably looking around at each other in the chat room. And one thing you can see is that there is some differences in the mod community. All right, I wanted to make this announcement. There is a major mod announcement. I removed the mods for everybody, not because I dislike my mods. In fact, we're going to be giving mod privileges out going forward as well. The problem is that we had gotten too deep in the weeds. People were getting banned and things like that. And that's part of the thing that I don't want to happen. Everybody has a chance to speak here, unless you're being personally disrespectful to myself, anybody up here, or anybody in the chat. Everything else is fair game. I'm sorry, I just got a message there. Everything else is fair game, and we don't want to, muddy the waters with, how you feel about a Buckeye fan or a poor little Bronim fan, whatever. As long as they not being disrespectful to you, to anybody else, to me or anything else. You know what I mean? They can say what they want about Michigan, because at the end of the day, that's what rivals do. Like, we gonna talk what we gonna talk our stuff about them. They can say what they want to say about us, but we, as long as it's respectful, we not gonna mod anybody. That said, shout out to my guy DTB. He said, both of you, to assume it's possible to have a healthy conversation with Justin Spiro. That's a fact, man. Listen, I like to take chances. I'm a risk taker. And on top of that, I believe in my ability to orate my thoughts, to, you know what I mean? Like, I am one for debate. I love a good debate, a healthy debate. I've seen his positions on certain things, and I would like to challenge some of those things. Listen, at the end of the day, Justin Spiro, say what you want to say about him. He's an intelligent dude. He's no dummy. I feel like if he was a fan of a different team, that his voice might even be more amplified, right? It's just that he's a fan of poor little Bronim. I mean, they got that gross, disgusting color. Everything about them is dreary and loser mentality. It just reeks of loser. And I'm not talking about Justin Spiro personally. I'm just talking about the aura around that program. Outside of their basketball, because we can't front on their basketball, even though they just got bounced by the same team that bounced Michigan after they was talking crazy. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. That said, I want to, you know, give him the opportunity to speak to the Michigan faithful directly, and for the Michigan faithful to speak to him directly, because right now it's a bunch of indirect things. He's saying what he's saying over here, and then running over here, and then we saying what we saying over here. Let's get it all together. Let's put it all on the table, and let's talk about it. Anyway, I don't want to get into the weeds with that. I want to talk about this mod situation. I don't want mods modding people for nothing just because they're a fan of somebody else. You will see that I kept one mod, my top shotter, if you will. My guy DK is still a mod, and that's because, you know, I could sick DK on whoever and he'll get him out of here. So shout out to DK. I also kept Lich Max. Lich Max is a mod too, because he mods responsibly. All right. Outside of that, though, everybody else, other people will start to get those mod privileges back. Don't worry about it. We just had to clean the swamp. That's a popular phrase in America these days. We have to drain the swamp. And by the way, I made a terrible, terrible mistake with the mods in the first place. And I gave, and I see my guy in here. This is my guy, by the way. In fact, I would consider him a friend over a lot of people that had mod privileges, and a lot of people that will have mod privileges. That said, he will never be a mod, and that's Garrison, who's in here. He had mod privileges for a while, and I also gave mod privileges to Doreen, who I adore. I got love for Garrison too. Pause. That said, they can't be mods. All right. Fans of the other state cannot be mods here on this channel, and it's nothing to do with how I feel about them personally, but everything to do with the fact that they root for that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus. Okay, we moving on. I know I was a bit long-winded to kick this one off. By the way, let me remind you, hit that like button, share this with your friends and family on social media and abound, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm gonna get to y'all's comments in just a second. Let me see what Garrison's talking about. It's tough to be an MSU football fan, but nothing is more annoying than them when they are good. That's a fact. Can't be mad at that. My guy Brandon said, I think most Michigan fans are reactionary because of the BS Buckeyes and Spartans spew. I agree with that, Brandon. No disagreement here. I like that mod responsibly. Let's go. My guy, the maniac. Let's talk about it. Absolutely. We're going to mod responsibly from this day forward. Spiro will be good for a one-on-one interview, not a 3 to 4 gang up on him. Shout out to Bugsy's daddy, man, who also wished me a happy birthday. Thank you for that. So I agree. We're not gonna gang up on him, but I'm obviously gonna have my guy. The maniac's got to be there, and if Kinetic is available, then Kinetic is gonna be there. And I mean, that said, it will not be some gang up situation, right? We understand the beauty of conversation. We understand how it works, the give and take there. So we're gonna let that go down. How it goes down. Those are my guys. They are part of the Eminem Monday cast. But I get what you're saying, Bugsy. We're gonna make it do what it do though. Now I'm gonna need mine's back, M3. Dexter Green. Hey, you on the short list to get it back early. That's my guy. You my guy G, Kiyoki, people like that for sure. The Dom Father. Shout out to my guy. Happy birthday week. I appreciate it, Dom. It's like my birthday month. You know what I mean? I'm taking over the entire month. The Dom Father also on that very short list. But yeah, it's gonna happen. Please don't ever let me be that. I can't be trusted here. That's a fact, man. I don't know what I was thinking. It's crazy. I've been on here for real convos, and it goes down well when we really want to meet minds. That's a fact. We won't do that to Spiro. We'll have a civil conversation with him. Let's talk about it. Jeez Louise is here. She says, mine aren't ever coming back. I talk way too much S. Oh well. Don't think like that, Jeez. You know what? We made you a mod before. You can be a mod again. Again, we just talking about modding responsibly. We don't want anybody to catch strays. And shout out to my guy. I think it was the Mission or the New Life, one of them, who actually accidentally modded Garrison before. He explained that to me, and that's not the reason that we're doing this, by the way. But shout out to them for coming, talking to me about it. That was great. I couldn't be a mod. Get him out of here like Andre the Giant Rumble. Shout out to my guy Dub Q. All right, so let's talk about what we came here to talk about. All right, let's get into it. We got the latest from spring camp, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, I'm not doing none of this is made up. All right, the information that I'm going to be giving you is from people inside the building. Let me repeat that. The information I'm giving you is from people inside the building. That's one of the perks of building these relationships, right? I've built some relationships. I've manicured those relationships meticulously, and now I get to bear the fruit of those relationships, and you, ladies and gentlemen, get to bear the fruit of being here with me. So here we go. Thing number one. We already know the Bryce Underwood thing, right? That's true, ladies and gentlemen. Let me be the first to tell you what you've been hearing about young Bryce Underwood, young BU, Bryce, BU. What you've been hearing about him, 1000% true. I'm here to verify everything you've ever heard about Bryce, 1000% true. The guy is pushing the ball down the field. He's doing it effectively. He's doing it efficiently. All right. Bryce Underwood is everything we thought he would be so far in spring practice. All right. With that said, we talked about it the last live. I believe Monday we were here talking about how Mikey Keene wasn't practicing, but how Jaden Davis was getting those reps and how Jaden Davis was looking the part as well as a former 5-star. Now, granted, by the time, he signed on the dotted line, he was knocked down, I believe, in every recruiting service to a 4-star recruit. A lot of it had to do with his size. A lot of it had to do with the fact that early on he progressed really quickly. In fact, quicker than everybody else just about in that quarterback class. I believe he was the number one quarterback at one point. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. In his class, it's just that, he hit kind of a zenith while everybody else then, came up or whatever. That said, he's been performing well too. Now, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your chairs. There's a certain freshman. I believe me and my guy Dub Q have pointed this out. This is a guy that we have already, it immediately attracted us to this guy, pause, when he was donned with the number 2 on defense. All right. Let me repeat that. This freshman was given the number 2 on defense. Just a real quick reminder on who's donned that number on defense as a defensive back at this here university. Just in recent years, we got to go with Will Johnson. Will Johnson, ladies and gentlemen, is Will freaking Johnson. He might be the best corner in the draft. Forget might be. He is the best pure corner in the draft. All due respect to Travis Hunter, who's an absolute freak of an athlete, right? But Will Johnson, in terms of the technique and getting it done at the cornerback position, is absolutely the best choice in this upcoming NFL draft. Do we agree? That said, we all know Heisman Trophy winner, former Heisman Trophy winner, arguably, and by the way, I will argue with anybody who wants to have this conversation, arguably the greatest defensive back ever, and I'm not just talking college football, the greatest defensive back ever, arguably, Charles Woodson, also wore number 2, ladies and gentlemen. And this young man out of Virginia, 2 up, 2 down, Shamari Earls, they say is him. All right. He's a big guy. Pause. I believe he's 6'1", 6'2-ish in that range. He's strong. If you see his upper body, strong. All right. He can move. He's got fluid hips. Pause. Well, we don't need to pause for fluid hips. He's got fluid hips. All right. And they say that the guy is making plays in practice, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, he's making plays in practice. Earls to start, CB2, and Barry to nickel. DTB, you might be on to something here. You might be on to something here, DTB. My guy Dub Q already know. You know it, sir. John checking in from Atlanta. Shout out to John. Always on the road. Fly safe, sir. Mr. Jet Setter himself, John Diadamo. Be sure to check out John and TJ on the Voice of College Football, Michigan Voice of College Football. Be sure to check those guys out. Charles Woodson. Yes, bro. Charles Woodson, Will Johnson. You hand the reins over to Shamari Earls. Shamari Earls is him, ladies and gentlemen, and it doesn't stop there. I got word on another young guy, a sophomore, who is also making plays in that defensive backfield. I'm going to let you guys guess it. I'll give you a second. It's not who you think it is. I'm positive, but if anybody gets it, we'll give it up. But all right. TJ Metcalf. I've heard some good things about TJ Metcalf, but he's not who I'm talking about. The guy I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, none other. If you saw the thumbnail, then you probably have a good idea of who I'm talking about, actually. But the guy I'm talking about, none other than Josiah Edmond. Josiah Edmond, ladies and gentlemen, they say is also him. He's flying around making plays in that defensive backfield. It looks like, ladies and gentlemen, Michigan's defensive back room, the corner room, the safeties, it looks stout. I'm going to go ahead. The depth there is insane when you think about it. We haven't even talked about Sugar Hill, who is the presumed cornerback 1, right? We've already spoke about Zeke Berry, who before Shamari Earls may have taken that position, was the assumed cornerback 2. You already had Josiah Edmond. There's all you see what I'm saying? We can keep going here, and that's just at corner and nickel. By the way, you throw in, Josiah Edmond. You throw in we don't even have our veteran presence back yet from injury. I don't even know if he's running yet. This could get real Shabba ranks for the rest of the Big Ten trying to throw on Michigan. I know that vile, disgusting cesspool in Columbus likes to call themselves the best in America, right? And they got some dogs in their defensive backfield. Don't get me wrong, but this defensive backfield in Michigan could be something special. And even with that being said, the offense, these guys on the outside are making plays too. This is a beautiful thing, Michigan fans. As fellow Wolverine fans, we should be ecstatic right now that we probably have the best 1-2 punch in the backfield. There's an argument for that. I know that there's little tape, neither one of them has been the bell cow yet in terms of Jordan Marshall or Justice Haynes, right? Neither one of them has been a bell cow yet. But from what we've seen in small doses of both of them, they have let me not say let me just say this. They have the ability to be the best running back tandem in America. I know you can point to those guys in Happy Valley, but if you point to those guys, I just point to what did they do when you needed them to do it. I'm not going to go any further into that. Also, their head coach is James Franklin, who I believe is a decent football coach. The problem with James Franklin, though, is he gets annually stuffed in a locker by one of two teams and sometimes both of those teams. Now, luckily for him, Michigan isn't one of those teams that he has to play every year, right? But he does have to play those guys in Columbus on a regular basis, annually. And annually, they take him out of the locker that they stuffed him in the year before, smack him around, stuff him back in that locker, put the lock on it, spin it, don't give anybody else the combination. And James has to sit there for another year. And he's the head coach of that running back tandem in Penn State. So excuse me if I don't believe that they're gonna, get it done. Let me go to the chat real quick, see what y'all talking about. Jay Marion said getting Rod back gonna be a bonus by the time the season starts. I don't know if he's gonna be ready by the time the season starts. I hope he is, but that will definitely be a bonus. That's only a plus getting him back for sure. Watch what you say. I don't need to watch my mouth, man. I'm talking clearly. I'm seeing things clearly, Garrison. By the way, and this is the beauty of this, Garrison. Last year, I will sit here, Johnny. I saw Johnny in the chat. Jim Knowles has the hey yo. All right, but last year, Michigan fans, myself included, Johnny Olden Jr. included, were lied to. All right, I can admit that, Garrison. The coaching staff got up there preseason. They lied to us. First of all, we thought that Alex Orji. I need a minute. They told us Alex Orji was going to be the starting quarterback. At one point, that's what all the noise coming out of camp was, that Alex Orji, ladies and gentlemen, was going to lead last year's Team 145. Alex Orji. Shout out to Alex Orji, who I believe is at UNLV now. I hope he's doing well. I'm not going to say mean things. Alex Orji was the one that they told us would be the guy, right? Only for the week leading up to the damn game one for them to say, oh no. Make-A-Wish Warren is the starting quarterback, who then proceeded to throw it to the other team with regularity. Bottom line is, I say all that to say this. We were lied to. So, excuse me if I take information from the coaching staff with at least a grain of salt. I know that there are a lot of people out there who believe in the coaching staff. I believe in them. Trust me, especially late last year. Flip the switch. Things look different. They look better than they had been looking, for sure. No question about it. Pump the brakes, though. I now get my information from other people inside the building. All right. I don't want the coaches looking into that camera, having to come up to the podium and tell lies. And I know that they didn't. I know they told lies because they felt that they needed to, right? They had to keep optimism high, right? You don't want to talk down about the players either. But, bro, we didn't have competent quarterback play for like all of the season. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say if Michigan had competent quarterback play for like all of the season, Michigan is in the 12-team playoff. I'm not saying Michigan repeats as champions, as national champions. I'm saying with competent quarterback play, they are in the playoff. Texas still beats Michigan last year. Texas was better than Michigan. Michigan is just in the head of Ryan Day. So we still win that game. The Illinois game, the Indiana game, winnable football games with competent quarterback play. All right. That Washington game, all we needed was a competent quarterback. All right. Which leaves the Oregon game. And maybe that game is rough for us, but I mean, we were at home. If we have a competent quarterback, things could go differently. Let me say that. But I'm not trying to rehash history. I'm not trying to rewrite history. I'm just saying we ain't had no competent quarterback play. And the coaches all spring told us how competent these guys were, and it was lies. They lied to us in our face. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be at the spring game, but I want y'all to take that spring game with a big grain of salt. We saw Make-A-Wish Warren make plays in the spring game. We saw Alex Orji make plays in the spring game. The spring game is another practice, ladies and gentlemen. All right? Don't take too much from it. Because those same guys went out on Saturdays and looked how they looked. No disrespect. Respectfully. But disrespectfully, we were lied to. I'm upset. All right. I'm gonna take some. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Anybody who wants to come up to talk about spring intel can come up. We're also gonna talk a little bit about recruiting. We got some recruiting intel as well. As I'm still getting some recruiting intel. Yeah, we got some recruiting news to talk about. So come on up. Let's talk. My guy West Quad is here. WQ. How you feeling, sir?
Hey man, spring is sprung. I got allergies. We can skip this season. Let's get into the summer, bro.
Spring is sprung. I got allergies.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
I mean, look, the only thing popping for me the spring game, my birthday, and then we can skip to June, buddy.
Right.
Oh yeah, Memorial Day weekend, I guess. But
of course, Memorial Day weekend. But yeah, man, I know you weren't surprised. Me and you were kind of on the Shamari Earls train early on.
For sure. Look, I ain't been surprised by nothing. I was
right.
also on the Bryce train, but I feel like these are two trains that everybody should have been on. It's not like I'm like
runaway trains.
How could you not see it?
No doubt. My guy, the Maniac.
Yo, what's goody, my geyser? First of all, again, happy belated. You already know it's Warren Stockton from the Bronx, baby, hitting jump shots half court style. But the only thing is, I ain't wearing no poom poom shorts. You heard? No Stockton shorts.
Hey.
no Stockton shorts.
Hey, remember Jordan Poole tried to bring those back? Hey, nah, bro, we leaving them in the 80s, buddy.
Yeah.
Poom poom shorts.
Absolutely. No, so that dude, man, Caleb Anderson, right? He's a 6'3", the transfer from Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think they got him as a 3-star. Do we know if he's gonna be here in the spring or he's coming in for the fall camp?
I think he's already in.
Yeah, I think he's here.
So if we're not hearing nothing, that means he's cackadoodle.
No.
You know, no, because he got that size 6'3", you know, that's you know, these wide receivers that Ohio State is gonna start bringing in. Chris Henry Jr. made it clear that he's shutting down his recruitment. He's fully devoted to
Right.
OSU. You already see Jeremiah Smith now. We didn't really have an issue with him last year, but he's still who he is, right? He's probably gonna be the best wide receiver in college football next year. So
I mean, was he? He was the best receiver last year.
Agreed.
But I get it. Good.
yeah, no. I mean, arguably, right? Because
Right,
I mean, he was there, but regardless, he's a freak of an athlete.
No doubt.
But the question becomes, for our secondary, right? How well are we gonna gel? One, and hopefully we can, kind of not get that injury bug, because on top of us having the worst quarterback room in the history of Michigan football, and still won 8 games, by the way. So just take that into account. We a lot of injuries, gentlemen. Remember early on, everybody was hurt, man. And
hey, hold up. To be fair now, Maniac, let's not forget that Stephen 3 Nick Sheridan room.
No, but
also an awful quarterback.
I would say this though, West Quad, if we had a competent defense, that year, I think that Michigan team. I'm not saying we do anything crazy, but we'll definitely be a little better, because Nick Sheridan and what's his name, 3,
Right.
Stephen 3. Yeah, they weren't. And you remember these guys, they making them run the read option.
Yeah,
and they weren't even those kind of quarterbacks.
Fair enough.
But I mean, look, the bottom line is this, man. Michigan's team coming in this year, like you said, Madman. Whatever we see in the spring game, take it with a grain of salt, because you just don't know. And now we also got to remember this. Word is that Mikey King is hurt, and it seems severe, right? There is no time soon. So now we lack any one depth at quarterback and no experience. So just look at this. We might have Underwood, the starter, and Jaden Davis as number 2, who has never started a game at Michigan.
Right.
Hey,
So that's something to keep an eye on.
I'm going to the moon, Alice. To the
moon. Yo, one thing I gotta address. Shout out to Juju, who just joined us too. We're gonna get to you in a second. Juju, what's good, my guy? One thing we do gotta address is this right here. The spring game will not air live, ladies and gentlemen. Which seems like a little bit of it seems like a little misdirection from Sharon Moore, who a couple of weeks ago, really got out there, beat on his chest, said, we can't believe guys are canceling the spring game because it's not like guys don't know who you got on your team and blah, blah, blah. So this seems just a twinge disingenuous to not have it air live. And I get it that they try and wait till after the spring portal for it to air. But that's the whole idea, right? That he kind of said we not worried about. You know what I mean? So it just seemed a little twinge disingenuous. But what it really does is it hurts people like friend of the show, Kiyoki Kaipana, who, obviously has to, take care of his wife and things at home, all the way in Las Vegas, is not going to be able to make it to this year's spring game to watch his son play. And now he has to wait a week longer to even see that. So,
he's not trying to get DJ Waller this year, though. That's
DJ even play in Kentucky?
Right, that's a fact. Right, that's crazy, man. I get it. I get the whole DJ Waller thing. Who he did flash in that spring game,
right?
And then was gone. You know what I mean? But I think you don't come out and say what you said then, right? You could have just kept it at we gonna play our spring game, right? And then nobody is. Then I'm not here like, oh, it felt a little disingenuous.
No, I'm with you. I get what I'm saying. He playing the game. It is.
No, absolutely. Juju, what's good, man?
What's good? What y'all boys been talking about? I heard the spring game. I just popped in here.
Yeah. So I was talking about the people that I heard were doing good in spring camp. Obviously everybody knows about Bryce, but Josiah Edmond and
Mm-hmm.
true freshman Shamari Earls both making
Mm-hmm.
plays in spring camp is very good news, exciting news, and just gives us that hope for that depth in that defensive backfield, which is crazy right now on paper, right?
Yeah, it is crazy. I'm glad that you brought up the secondary because that's really what I want to talk about. With Rob Moore and stuff, I've been hearing a lot of chatter about moving Rod to the nickel. Not just chatter. I mean, I got my guys telling me, hey, this is a possibility,
right,
and stuff. Me personally, I don't like it. I don't know. I want if anyone's gonna be in that nickel, I want TJ Metcalf in that.
okay,
In that spot. I just don't think you take one of the best safeties in the country and you take him out of center field. That's
right,
what he does best. Why
right.
why do that? And we're deep as hell at safety, so I just don't
So,
get it.
so do you think starting matters? You know what I mean? Like if you're, if you're Rod Moore, does starting at safety matter to you? And if it does, it is Rod Moore a starter over guys. Let's just leave it there. Is Rod Moore the starter at safety?
I think once he gets back and gets his feet under him, he is. I just think you put your best three out there, right? Because essentially you're running nickel with three safeties. So right. I think your best three are Hillman, Rod Moore, and TJ Metcalf. I think those are your best three. And then you roll Zeke over the corner, you roll Hill to the other corner. You have Anderson that just came in, and then you have Shamari Earls and JoJo who are on their heels. So that's just how that's how I see it right now.
Yeah. Also, don't forget, man, Jaden Magnum, man.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's a ball hawk. He's athletic, he's rangy, and that's what I'm saying. Look, that's the beauty about having depth at the safety, right? I mean, the secondary, whether it be corner safeties, we saw it in 21, man. That's also been a staple of Michigan during that elite 3-year run that we were very deep on the defense, but in every position, just about. And that helps, man. You keep guys healthy, you keep guys fresher. And in that fourth quarter, in the Big Ten, you fresh, man, and you start taking over games, which the defense did, man, in that 3-year run. And we even saw it this year towards the end when Michigan defense finally got it together. So if we could just continue that momentum, man, going into this season, again, I don't know if you tuned in, Juju, to the show we had on Monday, but we was talking about the Oklahoma game. And I say, that's going to, let us know where we at early. And if that our defensive line is, what we think it is, then I know we're gonna have a great shot of winning.
Look, F3. Quick question: is Rod Moore running yet?
Not from what I've heard. No,
me neither. I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay,
he's not going to be starting the season. I mean, just
right. Yeah, I know somebody brought that up earlier. I said as much. Like I don't think he's going to be there at the start of the season. But yeah,
like you when he was before he went down. Like he didn't participate in barely in the all season. It took him like 4 or 5 games to get going. So I think that's what it's going to be.
Right. Yeah. So. By the way, we haven't even brought up like McBurrows. Like
we're real deep.
Depth is crazy, bro. And in the backfield, it's crazy. And by the way, I mean at other positions it is too, but specifically in that defensive back room, it is insane the depth.
Yeah. And we're not even mentioning the true freshmen.
Who has the most potential of them all? Yeah,
Winston,
right? Kanoa Winston, right? You're right.
You have Jordan Young, right? From Clemson that we flipped on. We got my man Elijah Dotson.
Yeah, this DB class was really, really good.
No, we set up. Listen, the defense is set up very nice for years to come, right? Again, of course, with transfer portal and NIL is going to be kind of hard to keep guys because, schools are going to be throwing bags at these guys. Like, yo, you don't need to be on the 2 deep in Michigan. You'll be a starter plus. We're going to give you this,
I mean, if you really think about it, bro, this 25 defense reminds me depth-wise, maybe not top talent. It reminds me depth-wise of 23. If our quarterback, whoever at the helm, which is going to be Bryce. No reason why it shouldn't be. If he comes around, I mean, look out, bro. Because I think our line is going to be a lot better. I mean, it's experience. They're talking like they're 8-9 deep already, and we ain't even touched, fall camp. So I just think it's all up to the quarterback. Because that defense, especially with the better offense, it's 100% going to be better. There's no way it's going to be dead last in P4, bro. We're too talented now. Like, bro, the defense it's going to be a championship defense in my opinion.
No doubt. Dub Q. What's your thoughts?
Sometimes as far as McBurrows goes, remember sometimes I like to say it's getting early late. It might be getting late for McBurrows, bro. Like,
he's coming off the bench, but he's a great depth piece.
Yeah, that was, and Juju said, I think, as far as those dreams of him starting, those days might be over, buddy. But good depth piece, special teams and whatnot.
What's the word on Boateng? Is he there already?
Yeah, he's there. He just he got to gain weight.
He was coming off an injury too, right?
Yeah. And he got to gain weight. I mean, he weighed in at 200, so he got to put that back on.
Dang.
Right.
Yeah. He gonna redshirt. I think he gonna redshirt.
Hey, I bet get to 220 by the start of the season though. 220 ain't bad.
Yeah, it's
if he
not
gets
bad.
to 220 by the start of the season,
we got a weak schedule too, so he might get some burn.
Kids?
Hey, bro, I told you I watched a kid named Sean Lazarus go from 240 to 290.
Yo,
and I don't know.
I
don't think he was on the juice neither. So he came in looking like a regular old dude, and the left looking like Brock Lesnar. So
that's where like Ben Herbert, man, played a huge part, right? That strength and conditioning, man, that shit matters. Yeah. Having these dudes ready and someone that know what he's doing, man, and he's just elite at it. And he just knew how to get the most out of these players, man. And they not only that, man, they gravitated to him. They loved him a lot. And it's like you know how it is, man. We all played sports, and organizing. We all had a coach that's like, yo, whatever he need, bro, I'm gonna run through this wall, even if it was an assistant coach. So, those are the things that Michigan also missed last year. Like, if we really look deep into that last season's team, bro, what Sharon Moore ended up doing is amazing, bro. Everybody that he lost, right? All the players he lost, and then that quarterback room, like, I'm sorry, like, I just never seen anything so bad, bro. Like, it was bad. Now it got better towards the end. It wasn't great, but it was like, okay, this is better than what we saw the first couple of games. But it was still bad nonetheless, man. So, like Juju said, man,
the nightmare is over, bro. You could wake up.
I know. I know.
He right.
No, but I know y'all be having cold sweats thinking about that quarterback room.
No, but West Quad. You didn't West Quad. I know you was in.
We
were. We did West Quad every single game. Every single game Michigan played this year. All 13. 12 regular season bowl games. We did an immediate post-game reaction for every game. And go back to the early ones, bro. I want him dead. I want his piss on his head.
Hey, look, where is it, man?
I need that.
Hey, we ain't doing no more post games or watch game parties.
I would have been right there with you. I would have been throwing Wink under the bus too.
Now we're not doing no more watch parties with Michigan.
We're not gonna sit here. We're not capping.
You feel me, 3L? My
that was horrible. We are doing post games, bro. Everybody in the chat, post games will be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll be there.
For sure.
What up, Juju, West Squad, Maze, and Maniac?
What's going on?
What up, dog, man? I appreciate y'all, man. What's up? Go Blue. Hey, Juju, they don't even know what's coming.
Nah, they gotta get woke. They gotta get woke.
Hey, look,
I told you yesterday. You can't speak to the deaf. You just gotta show them.
Hey, bro, I'm in the front, bro. I'm the engineer. All aboard.
Yeah, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? 2-2, here we come.
Hey, Maze, what I'm real interested in is like last year, right? So you get the weights from spring and then you go to winter for camp. I'm interested to see who jumped, but more importantly, I take it back to Eno last year, who jumped hella weight, and I was excited for him.
Yep.
You know, it's one thing to put on weight, but it's another thing to learn how to play at that weight.
Right.
So I'm interested to see who's going to do that. I know people are going to put on muscle and shit. I just want to see who can play and really master their body quick as hell.
No doubt. Another person that they, speaking of, somebody making a jump, another person who might be the starter at right guard this upcoming season.
That boy Jake.
Jake, but also they've been talking about Afobe, bro.
Yeah, Afobe.
Afobe has, apparently taken a monster step forward. I think he's like a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, he was a highly touted recruit.
He was.
Hatter ain't even there yet, bro. Like we're so we got so many. Bro, they talk about Brady Norton,
right?
And he's underweight and shit, and he's out here
right.
shining.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, bro. Shout out to Brandon Abbott, who's reporting from enemy territory right there in the heart of Columbus. Shout out to Brandon,
yes, sir.
And then Abdul called him a traitor.
Appreciate it, Jay.
Shout out to
So can I ask the chat the question? So if these players are shining, is it Sharon Moore rushed into this last year and really couldn't identify what he had? Because I feel like it was rushed. It wasn't, well analyzed what they were going to put out on the field in 2024. So now you got these people that because a lot of people transferred. Gentry.
That's good. That's real good.
Gentry. I forget the one that went to Missouri, and then another one went to Western Michigan. O-lineman. And is it a misdiagnose of the offensive line last year? He was just throwing it together.
Well, I gotta say this first and foremost. Somewhere, Kinetic is smiling because he was saying to anybody with ears that Sharon Moore didn't have enough time, right, and that last year couldn't be on him basically, and he didn't have portal time and all of that. It was too close to, which in retrospect is the truth, right? He didn't have a lot of time to get this together. That said, Sharon Moore was there the year before. He knew what that quarterback room looked like, to say the least. We can't give him
that's
too much
that's
credit
first
on
year
that.
mistakes.
Right. And as far as the O-line, he's got to take some of that responsibility, but also,
of course,
like you said, man, it wasn't a lot of time. This is his first head coaching job. It's like one of the biggest jobs in college football, right?
Big pressure.
Yeah. So
and Maze, I want to go.
I
can't reiterate this enough, bro. Like the two biggest auditions of the offseason were Eric Campbell and Juan Castillo. Like, bro,
that's what I said.
Were the biggest, and it's going to show.
Say it again. Absolutely, bro.
I mean, it's
massive gets, bro. And I think we might be seeing the dividends of it already, right? From what we've been hearing, young guys even at receiver making plays. A guy like Afobe taking a major step forward. You can't, I got to give Castillo some of that, along with Newsome, this was his first time in that role, right, last year.
And then that's gonna make him better.
Man, I can't even stress this enough, bro. Last year we had a first year OC. We had a first year O-line coach, bro. We had a head
all of
DC
these
guy,
things,
man.
right.
First year head coach, first year DC coming back to college, bro. It's not gonna be like this coming year.
Hold on,
bro.
Bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Let's not forget. Let's not forget too that Esposito and Morgan came from smaller schools, right? This is their first Power 4 jobs at these positions anyway. So
and they did wonderful in the last 2 games. I mean, you seen it come to fruition.
Man, that defense gonna be scary, bro.
Looks like Burks was ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Talking about he was off the street. Man. give him a little time.
Hey yo,
That man was ready to get him out of here pronto.
yo,
Hey, look, they coached their ass off in that OSU game.
that's a fact, man. Shout out to 23 Tells, and we appreciate you for the $5 super chat. You said, "Don't understand Barham on the edge when Nichols gonna be a effing problem." Ooh wee, he
Bro,
good.
we got 4 starters on the edge, bro. Like I don't know.
Man. It's deep. Speaking of deep, Juju, let's talk about that, right? We talked about how deep the defensive back room is gonna be. The defensive line.
Look,
it's crazy good.
But that D line goes 5, 6 deep. The edge room goes 4 deep.
Hey,
bruh.
and they just said that. They just said that Drew and Mays that it's gonna be they can send like 3 waves of defensive line
That's
at
what they
you
was gonna
to
do.
oh
They
my
said it's gonna be 1,
goodness,
2,
bro.
3, and you out. Yep.
We ain't even got Nate Marshall on campus, bro.
That's insane. Bro, Nate Marshall is not on the grounds. All right, that's the 5-star, depending on the service. I know people get,
Yeah, 5-star.
I think he's gonna take some time. I mean, he hurt right now from what I'm hearing. So
yeah. And he's still a young guy. You gotta account for that too.
He was
guy.
dominating.
We so deep
at
edge, bro. We got Lugar, we got Baxter too. They're still developing shit. Like, bro, we got a lot of talent. Kumba, like, we got a lot of talent.
People just underestimated, bro. Like these dudes are dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
No, we can just get a couple people on offense to just take off, bro. I mean, man.
Juju, they will. Don't worry.
No doubt,
bro. We got a real
man.
OC, bro. This is the first real OC we had since Al Borges, bro. Let's talk about it.
No doubt. Let's talk about this. The projected wide receiver depth chart. This is one that's been very interesting. I know pretty much on every live we've done, we kind of have thrown some names out there, but a name that I feel like gets a little disrespected in all of this is a guy who I feel like after rewatching film and rewatching some tape, Fred Moore was open a whole lot last year. Fred Moore was open a lot. And if we had, like I said, competent quarterback play a season ago, Fred Moore's numbers could have looked a lot different than they were. His usage could have been a lot different. Even a guy like Samaj Morgan, I don't want to take nothing, I don't want to give, say that he was a world beater, but with a competent quarterback, he gets some looks because people have to respect the down the field throws. But where do you see? I want all y'all's opinion. Where do you see the chat too? Where do you see a guy like Fred Moore fitting in with this receiver group? Is he a wide receiver 1 or 2, or where do you think he fits in?
I think he's a solid 2. If not a 3, but I think McCulley's gonna be the go-to guy. But I'm excited for the receiver room. I know they excited to have a quarterback. Like like you said, respectfully
OC as well. What the fuck?
Sheesh.
Yeah, I think it could be wide receiver by committee, man. Who got the hot hand? Because right now, everybody got a fair chance of eating. Right? There's really McCulley because he's the most experienced and has the best numbers, but that doesn't mean by the end of the year he's our number 1 receiver, right? Someone can emerge and just surprise us, like, yo, where he come from. So that's going to be interesting. And I've mentioned it, Mays, we spoke about that. You remember when you asked me the biggest question mark, position group for me is the wide receivers, because we don't know. We know there's talent there. We don't lack in talent. Now, we don't got no elite guys, but we're talented. In the offense we run, we don't need elite receivers. We need good receivers, respectful. So where now that you got a quarterback that can stretch the field and you have to respect his arm and that running game and that old line, man, listen, it's going to be Halloween every month for these schools, man, as long as we stay healthy.
No doubt. Real quick, hold on real quick before you go. My man Antoine Johnson said we had incompetent OC. That's a fact. And because you brought it up, We got to do this.
I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his head.
He will pay for his war crimes against the University of Michigan. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nobody
Go
want
ahead, Mar.
Oh, I thought Mar
yeah.
was.
Oh yeah. Did you listen to McCulley today?
I
He's
did.
talking about how he was, placing the ball in the right place to catch it. But I like to hear stuff like that, man.
Listen, in terms of his physical ability, right? Nobody on this panel, nobody in the chat questioned Bryce Underwood, right? I think the only question is going to be when the lights get bright, especially week 2, if he is the guy on the road. That's the biggest test. And if he passes that test, forget about it.
Yeah, it's over with.
With the schedule that Michigan has, I'm not saying that Michigan, because we made this mistake, me and Maniac, in our preseason, picks for Michigan. We had Michigan going 12-0 a season ago. Most of that was because of the lies we were being told. But if that dude passes that test in week 2, especially with flying colors, I am saying the floor, bro, is 11-1 after that, right? If we beat Oklahoma and he looks good, 11
convincingly. So if we beat him convincingly, what would your ceiling be for the record then?
Yeah, I mean it's still 11-1. The floor is 11-1. The ceiling
Who
is
we lose to?
obviously.
Who we losing to?
I don't want to say it. I don't want to
He's the only
that,
other possibility.
so I'm not going to do it. But let's be honest. All right. At the end of the season, there's a game play. Now, granted, they got to come to the big house this year.
They got to come to the crib.
Which I think helps too. That said, that's going to be a talented. You know what? Forget it. The floor is 11-1, but it's likely we going undefeated because they're going to be breaking in a quarterback. They got,
you heard about him, man. You remember what I said?
Exactly.
You remember what I told you, Maze, yesterday about saying the reports coming out about him.
Right. No doubt. We've got mixed reviews coming out of there. But again, I don't want to put the cart before the horse either, right? Like that's why I'm saying I want to see that game and we can make our determinations after that. But of course we're gonna do a preseason win-loss for the Wolverines and all of that.
Right.
But I'm gonna be mindful of that. And when I watch that game too, that's gonna tell me what I need to know for the rest of the season, honestly, barring injury, of course.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't here last year because I would have had to I would have had to put that 12-0 fire out, buddy.
Hey, bro, we were cooking. We were on the ooh-wee.
I want us to go 12-0, but realistically, last year, buddy.
The ooh-wee was in the form of all the lies we were being told. We rolled all those lies up in some backwood.
Hey, it's a new stealing last year, boy.
It's a new season, new beginnings, and you know what it is. 2024 season was over. It's over with. We in a new season. Let's get to it.
Yeah, I think 10-2.
Go blue.
I think 10-2 is reasonable, right? Like, because there's gonna be tough games there. We know, and I think Darren put it at Nebraska, at USC. Remember, the road is always tough. Expect those games to be night games as well. I know the Oklahoma, I'm like 98%. Sorry, it's my daughter's playing.
No, it's all good.
They are I'm about 98% that's gonna be a night game in Norman, week 2. Right? Nebraska, it could go either way. USC might be a night game, very similar to like the Washington game from last year.
I like that.
But those are just realistic games. I mean, Michigan should be favored to win those games, but that's not guaranteed. Hey, shh, I'm talking. And then of course, as much as it is what it is, OSU is always going to be a challenge. I still favor us to win that game, though. But we got to be realists. That's not going to be no gimme. right?
But
So
when you say realist, like I'm being real on my
so when I Mama, when I say realist, meaning that those are games we can lose. Like it's
Right.
we can't
so
say we're
with the
not gonna lose
Nebraska
those games.
game, with the Nebraska game, hey Maze, can you do me a favor? Can you play that one clip you just played, and then I'm gonna finish my segment. That one clip with the guy, I want him
I
dead
want
and
him
that.
dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his head.
All right, thank you. So that's how Sharon Moore going to Oklahoma and Nebraska and USC. You understand? That's all I'm saying. Because Nebraska, he had Matt Rohr's neck. He's at his neck. You think our coach didn't forgot? Nah, we going in there. We about to scrape the floor with them. Oklahoma, yeah, we going in there too. And USC, we in the California lights. Everybody gonna be eyes on us. Yeah, we showing out. Especially if Bryce is going to Oklahoma and do his thing. Yeah, we showing out.
I want to, Maze,
It's
I want
show
to take
out
it back, bro.
time. Like Jeezy, like show out.
No doubt. Go ahead, Juju.
I want to take it back to the wide receiver room real quick. And
Yeah.
I think, to be honest with you, I think Fred Moore is going to be a third because I don't think we're done in the portal. I think we're about to go get one, maybe two more guys. I don't think they're going to settle.
Okay.
I think we're going to hear a lot of names coming out.
Okay.
And more than last year. I'm still optimistic about Skylar Bell. I'm still really optimistic about that. You had old boy 6'5" receiver. You got
From
there's
Campbell.
some smoke there. He's got a lot of offers. And
Yeah, Sincere Brown, bro. I want him there. I want him back. Hey, he's crazy.
That would be a great addition. I mean, that would be a great addition. I just don't think we're done yet. And I'm gonna be very interested, especially because of the week schedule, especially week 1. Because I think you need to roll with your guys till mid-third quarter to ramp up for Oklahoma.
Right.
Yeah, because New Mexico, like I already stated, like they lost everyone. Like they lost everyone to the portal. So I'm expecting that to be a cruise. So I think you rock, especially with Bryce. He needs to get reps into the fourth quarter, probably to me. Yeah. If he's gonna play, if he's gonna start anyway. But yeah, bro, I think Fred Moore might be the third guy because I think we're about to go get another guy to play that wide position.
Hey, if not Sincere Brown, then maybe
or
we
Z,
get back
actually,
on that Skylar Moore train again.
He's a grad transfer. You know we love those.
Yeah.
Right.
He would be anyway.
Right. Shout out to DTB. He said Nebraska did some work in the portal. They've improved that OC and their defense returns some talent. That's a fact.
They lost their defensive coordinator though. That's the biggest piece.
Some good work in the portal for sure. And they did lose their DC.
They lost their DC.
Right. I think the biggest, and this is something too. It's not necessarily a specific team. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about this, but the fact that there are no back-to-back home games, right?
Yeah.
Away home, right? That could be a prop. That could trip you up too. Like, you know what I mean? That's not normal, especially for a team Michigan's caliber, right?
M3, who put this schedule together? This looks like one of them college football 25 ass schedules.
This looked like Ryan Day made this schedule.
Yeah, exactly. And that's crazy because who approved that?
Yeah. Right.
No, serious. I've been a Michigan fan, bro, since like I told you, since Desmond Howard, baby, the Puerto Rican Desmond Howard right here. Y'all know that. But anyway, bro, we never had that. I've never seen that in the history of Michigan, never having a season where there's no back-to-back home games.
Right.
And like we can't approve, like that's what's up with my man Ward Emanuel. He's supposed to be like, nah, y'all bugging. Y'all giving us the back-to-back. Because you know that team,
Milk Dud looking motherfucker, boy.
that team down south, they would have not allowed that. Ryan Day, forget it. He would have been on the 6 o'clock news crying. You know, it's Ohio against us. It's always been like that.
Hey, to be fair though,
he would have
we
blamed
did
New
have a
Hope.
lot of games.
Ah,
A lot
my
of seasons
goodness, bro.
when we started off with 4 straight home games. Like, damn, bro, we'll go to the
Hey,
home until
that's
like October.
crazy work.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. We have started a lot of seasons with
Yo,
4 home
straight
games.
4 home games. Like, damn, all right.
But most
Yeah,
teams do that. You look at Ohio State. They do the same thing. 3 straight, 4 straight home games. And most of these schools have what, like 8, they play 8, 9 home games and 3, 4. It's not like NFL was evened out. College
right.
is not like that.
Hey, somebody in the chat brought up a good point. This might be the revenge of Tony Petitti. He said, I'm gonna show you back.
No, that's a fact, bro. He might be out here trying to exact some revenge
I
in
will
like
show
a
y'all.
underhanded way.
Hey, 23 tears. I don't think we have anything to worry about, bro. Like Chip
Yeah.
Lindsey is a real OC, bro. He's a real OC.
A
Just
real
go check him out.
OC, which brings me back to that guy who was acting like an OC. He wasn't even acting like an OC. He was just taking up the office space, and I don't like
I want him dead. I want his family dead. I want his house burnt to the ground. I want to go to the middle of the night. I want to piss on his ass.
He will pay for
Nah, he
it.
was acting like an OP. He was acting like an OPP, a op.
He will absolutely, bro. That's what they should have had on his door. Not
Hey, them the first plays. That was the first plays from the first man ever.
crazy, bro. Remember
Yeah,
all
I
those
just
people
hope
were
that
trash.
also, because one thing also that we spoke about briefly is that Tony Alford, man, he has to do a better job in rotating these running backs, man. We need an even amount of Haynes and Marshall, like, and whoever's gonna be RB3. Any word on that? Is that gonna be Benjamin Hall? Is that someone else is looking good?
Yeah, it's probably
I
gonna be
want to hear.
Benjamin Hall.
I want to hear Capana name. I want him to
I
take the
want
next
to
step.
Cabana left.
What?
Didn't Cabana transfer out?
No,
No, that was
Capana, not Cabana.
not
Cabana.
Right, right.
Get his ass on
Okay,
special team.
Cabana. I'm bugging.
Yeah.
I'm bugging.
Which, by the way, I think that's a great spot for him, Juju. I think getting him to return some kicks, putting him in on some specialty plays like some jet sweeps or something like that to kind of use that speed. That'll be ideal.
I hope he proved me wrong. I don't with the running back room and the people we have coming in. It's gonna be real tough. I hope he proved me wrong, but I think special teams and that real gadget player is gonna be his best super. I really hope that he proved me wrong.
Hey, M3, as far as Alfred is concerned,
I like him.
I think
I just don't think it's gonna work.
I think the running backs being more complementary of each other, like it's not such a drastic change to go from Haynes to Marshall as it was to go from Mullins to Edwards. So I think that'll help him out.
Bro, our running backs.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Bro.
That's a good point, Russ.
We have a better room than last year. So
for sure.
Who you think realistically becomes the punt returner? Or who would you like to be the punt returner?
Capana. I mean, yeah.
I want Capana at kick return. I want to keep Samaj at punt return.
Thank you. I was gonna say I like Samaj at punt return. I thought he did a good job 2 years ago, returning punts.
If we might see what's his name? I think what's his name? We just picked him up. Anderson. We might see him slide.
Okay.
Like because if Samaj is gonna take over that starting role, we might see him slide. I do remember seeing him return kicks or punts or whatever, but I just think we need speed and space, like hands and speed and space. I hate that phrase. We all do.
Right.
We need that for the punt return. I'm gonna need that, bro, because we haven't had an elusive one since what? DPJ?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a Big Ten championship. He didn't score though. Samaj Morgan.
Johnny Oden said Amorian Walker.
I mean,
I ain't gonna lie.
Where's he, bro? He's like,
hey,
where's
Walker, just need to go ahead and let's go ahead and apply.
He on campus.
He said apply for some jobs.
It's over, my boy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Amorian Walker need to get a number before he do anything.
Go ahead and run track and field, bro. He might become a gold Olympic medalist, bro.
Leave that man alone.
Look, I'm rooting for Walker, bro, to find a role somewhere.
That boy golded at the 3 cones. Don't get it twisted, bro. Keep it that way, though.
Hey.
No.
Life. He can't get a jersey.
He ain't got one, bro. What that
He
tell
said,
you?
"Yo, y'all ain't got nothing with a number on it."
Hey, look,
That's
bro.
dirty.
Hey, so who
And
gonna
they
rock
ain't
the run
talking
on
about him.
offense though?
Huh?
Who
They're
gonna
not
rock
talking
the run
about him
on
either.
Like, we not, bro. You cooked him, Johnny. Don't
offense?
you brought him up? You did this to him.
Hey, that boy
They're
a
not
3-cone
talking about him
warrior.
in the spring. They're
He's
not
a
talking about him at
3-4
all.
warrior.
Fighting for my life.
Y'all
I
What's
gotta,
up?
seen it, bro.
And
3-cone
gotta
merchant in the chat,
chill.
bro.
what about the dude Simpson from was it
That's who I
UMass?
saw. Thank you. That's who I was referring to.
Right.
Yeah, we want to see what's up with him. Is he?
That boy
Is
run
he?
like
Is he
that boy run by like Pacheco, bro. Angry ass run, boy.
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
man.
yeah. And that's the thing, man. Right? Even if you
Thank
have
you, Keegan.
players that they got talent, they got speed, but not good enough to start. Put packages in for them, man. You
Keegan,
know
I like you,
What's
bro.
something.
up?
Don't do this, bro.
You
Oh,
know
so wait a
something.
minute. Johnny just did the Eric Andre meme. You done shot him up talking about why would y'all do that?
Bro.
Keegan, that's my dog, Keegan. But bro, come on now.
I
He can
like to
just
see
stop, bro.
awesome.
I don't need him to go.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yo,
yo.
Marion
Mark down
Walker.
Juju, not a big fan.
Bonafide scrub. He can't play.
Hey, bro.
Marion Walker's
I'm
two
sorry, bro.
greatest.
I got caught like I see it.
Hey, fair
Yeah.
enough.
We can't do that to him. First of all, listen. Just hear me out.
I hope he shut me up, bro.
Kurt Campbell
Frank.
was his OC last year, all right? We can't act like he was put in the most
Nah, he
advantageous
wasn't. But
position.
Maze, look, bro, there was a reason he's switching positions. Come on, dog. He got cooked by Peyton O'Leary.
He did.
Yo, O'Leary.
On live TV in a practice game. You're right.
Yeah,
Like, come
he
on,
put
bro.
him.
He had that man with his hands on his hips, bro. I ain't never seen a man defeated, bro. Snatch his damn
The
soul.
Kurt Campbell. Where he going? Where we sending him to?
That's tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You
Hey,
could have
cook
thrown
Guantanamo
match
does
by
Bay.
not,
me, bro.
does not
He going to
suffice, bro.
Cuba. We sending him to Cuba.
I ain't gonna lie. That's tough,
Send
bro.
him to
Getting your soul
Canada.
snatched, bro, by a white boy is
Peyton O'Leary
crazy.
was putting up Cooper Cup numbers on that boy.
Hey, yo.
He had like 9 for 100 on him.
Look, bro, Peyton O'Leary in the same boat. I don't want to see him on the field. He's a spring game merchant.
Damn.
Uh,
Who
I gotta
do
keep
you
it
like,
real, bro.
Juju out here.
Hey, but O'Leary made that catch to put us in the
Hey, he came in
that
clutch.
win.
No shade. Look.
Speak about it, Marmar.
He did, bro. That's fact.
He did,
Nah,
bro.
but
I give him that. I give him that. He came in clutch. Walk on connection.
Damn.
yeah. Yeah. No, O'Leary, man, he's sneaky good, man. Of course, he's
And I thought
not
you about
a
to use that
player you
sneaky
want to
athletic
see
shit.
starting, but he's a decent backup.
I'm sorry, man. Once I get started, I can't stop.
Somewhere, Steven, like you, Maze, there's a difference between suburban speed.
Yeah.
we give our guys praise and shit, but look, I got to call like
Shout
a
out to
season.
Steven.
If I don't see it in somebody, I'm gonna be real.
And it's funny because that O'Leary catch was against that dude Matthew,
That's a
who
fact,
Ohio
Wall.
State swears is going to be Deion Sanders in college next year.
Hey, listen, man.
Hey, O'Leary is a living legend.
Jesus Christ,
you going a little too far now, brother.
Hey, like dude just said, hold on, like dude just said, if he didn't make that catch, we don't know what the game would have been.
Bro, okay, let's talk about this then. Let's debate this. Was his catch bigger than my man's run?
No.
Fuck no.
Right.
But we would never gotten that position.
That boy Mullins single-handedly just willed us on the
Mullins run or O'Leary's catch in the chat.
Bro,
Let us
there
know
was
what y'all
no
think.
They both
no
important.
room for
What's
Mullins
the
to
most
run, bro.
important play in that game?
Marmar's correct.
They both was good.
Both important.
They both were important because it willed us to it got us to win though.
The run was legendary. The catch was very important.
Yeah, because
the run was important.
No, I'm
okay,
but
but the
run
catch
was legendary. But the catch was important.
Yeah, the catch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you know it's bad when we talking about two plays and we scored 13 points, bro.
Right.
It's bad. Bro. It's bad.
Hey, Juju though. Hey, Juju though. but the other team only scored 10 though.
That's why I'm talking about defense.
No,
Yeah.
Defense is like
and on
that.
top of that, that was to the team that ended up winning the national. So
Yeah.
that
See,
says a
look,
lot
look,
for this
the fool didn't
Michigan
even let
team,
you
man. The
say it.
momentum.
Vile and disgusting.
And shout out to the white boys,
Facts.
bro.
And
Yeah,
Godspeed to him.
facts.
We
no,
really
the
agree, especially
defense,
with a
man.
walk-on quarterback and suburb wide receiver.
Facts. Facts.
Nah,
They
that's some
came
different
through.
shit. Hey,
Hey,
We will
Juju.
never see that
I know
again.
it's different, but hey, it got us to. Hey, listen, we can still talk shit. You know what I'm saying?
Now we'll never
Come
see that
on,
one
man.
again. So you go ahead and put that one in the
Yeah,
vault.
Hey, yo.
Put that in the. You just
Cause that
lock
ain't
that up.
happening no more.
Let the
Man, we already
Ohio
talked
State.
about this, bro. We really got in the
Hey,
red zone 4 times on that team.
That's a fact.
yeah,
I don't care what
facts.
nobody said, bro. We had a competent quarterback, bro, and a competent OC, bro. It's a
It would have
blowout.
been bad.
Even with a walk-on fucking quarterback, bro. Like, come on,
yeah,
bro. It would have been bad.
Right. Nah,
it's
So
good,
what do
man.
that
And then
really
it's
say about Ohio State, though? Like they always talking jump, but what do that really say about them?
man,
right.
Bro,
OSU
Johnny,
is
bro.
gonna be
I gotta keep it a buck, bro. Like if I don't see this shit, I just don't see it. But Godspeed to them, bro. I
OSU.
hope them well, bro. They gonna get good jobs, bro. It's a Michigan degree.
Yeah.
Facts,
O'Leary probably gonna be a lawyer. He gonna work for a Fortune 500 corporate
facts,
company, so
Yeah,
he
you know what I'm
good.
facts.
saying? Car salesman shit. It's all good.
Nah, we don't do
Businessman.
car sales. We don't do car salesmen.
He gonna be a businessman, bro. He gonna be successful, bro.
I am.
What?
So y'all saying there's no chance he's going to the league?
Hell nah.
I don't. I mean, I don't look.
Who
Stranger
we
things
talking
Yeah, he
have.
about?
gonna.
White
I
boy?
mean,
Why you can't keep calling him?
nah. Look, hey, we can't just
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
look. No, that's a past stereotype. We white receivers are thriving in the NFL now.
Hey,
Hey, look.
I'm just saying we
Listen.
can't talk
Peyton
about
O'Leary
this
was
like it's
enough
the
to cook
90s.
Denzel Burke, bum ass.
They are
Denzel.
thriving
Well,
now.
Denzel Burke. I mean,
And running back.
by the way, I
Hey,
started my morning off with a little Denzel Burke.
Hey, we could have a
Where's that
compilation
at?
of burning
Where's that
Burke
at?
since he
Show
was a
me
freshman.
that
What?
burnt toast.
A little burnt toast, bro?
A little
Hey, don't
Burke
get it.
toast.
I know Burke back
Hey,
when he was
where that
number
at,
29, bro.
Maze?
He ain't
We
slick,
ain't
bro. He
got
been
that one
getting
lined
burnt
up,
since he
bro.
was a freshman.
Hey, thank you, Aaron Burke. Darth Vada will not be referred to as a white boy on this channel. All right.
Nah, that's a white boy with seasoning.
That's Darth Vada.
Hey, facts, Drew.
That boy got seasoning.
You got that
Denzel
Creole.
Burke.
Hey,
I'm back. Thanks,
Nah,
M3. No
Bro, he
doubt,
said he
man.
put
Shout
on
out
10 pounds of muscle just for
DG.
the shits.
it's funny bringing up Zavada. That's huge, man, because that
oh yeah.
Oklahoma game might come down to a field goal.
Hell yeah.
And,
Right.
and if he's there, that's just automatic. That's like Jordan in the clutch, automatic.
Bro, the
It's
fact that he
over.
wasn't in the conversation even for the
Lou
what is
Groza.
it? The Lou Groza Award is criminal, bro.
It's Michigan. It's a bias towards them.
The
If he
man
played
made
for Alabama,
100%.
if he played for Georgia, if he played for Ohio State, oh my, he would have been a Heisman candidate. He played for them too. Real
100%
talk.
of his kicks over 50 yards he made.
Crazy.
Which is
Crazy.
crazy.
That's insane to be honest.
Yeah.
And we stole them from Arkansas State.
Let Harbaugh tell it O'Leary might be the second coming of Manningham. Peoples Jones. Hey, yo, I'm not doing this with y'all today. I'm not doing
Yo,
this.
Harbaugh, man, mess around. Harbaugh signed O'Leary as a unrestricted free agent, non-drafted one.
All right,
Yeah.
yo.
That's a
Clearly,
You
waste.
always gotta remember
Bro,
the Jim
don't make me
Harbaugh
keep
factor.
don't make me keep getting on, bro. Come on. We can't be saying shit like that.
Clearly, y'all not taking this serious tonight.
No, look, you got them UDFAs are gonna be low. Look, we might not get them in the first 7, but them UDFAs are definitely gonna be on Chargers roster. I'm just saying.
Bro, I can't stand it.
I will say this, man. I am excited about all the things the weapons that we have on offense. I'm feeling real Jokerish in that first Batman movie when he had to ask the question.
Get those wonderful toys.
And
Yes.
That's how we feeling.
Yeah,
Yes.
it should be. Listen, man, Michigan should, on paper, should be in the playoffs next year, competing for a natty. How good are we gonna be? That's the $1 million question. But without a doubt, the way that schedule is, there's no doubt Michigan should be in the playoffs.
No
I
doubt.
already got
Listen,
my
Shit.
tickets for the first game.
listen. Real quick before we get out of here, I made the mod announcement at the beginning. I'm making it again. Right now, I believe we have 4 total mods. Everybody who was a mod is no longer a mod. There are only now, I think, Dom, my guy DK, Lich Max, and Dexter Green are mods. Don't worry, if you were a mod before, chances are you're gonna be a mod again. We just needed to drain the swamp, as the politicians say, and
Talk.
and we coming back. But that said, we're working to get Justin Spiro on the show. We had some communication today. It looks like we're gonna get that done.
The fuck,
Um,
man?
yeah. Wait for it.
Hey, Juju, you and I not gonna be able to come up for that one, buddy.
Oh no, bro. I get Henny in me, bro. He gonna have to.
Hey,
Bro.
listen. By the way, we've already made it. It will probably just be me and Maniac
Probably get a decision.
on this one. Kinetic. Probably just be me and Maniac on this one.
Yeah, look, I ain't gonna
Um,
even hold you, M3. I'm not a fan of bro.
I'll
have bro
I
reconsider his
understand.
whole life, bro.
I get it. But the thing is, this is why I wanted to do this. I wanted to do it because he's over there on this platform saying what he wants to say about Michigan with
Right.
no sort of adverse,
No,
it's only his opinion being
understand.
spewed, right? And then he's on Buckeye channels doing the same. And I want to
They over there holding hands.
Ooh. Bro, it's Stockholm
Facts.
at its finest. I don't want to do that though, but we gonna definitely have some healthy discourse. We've already talked about some of the topics that we want to talk about, and we're gonna get it done. But I want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. Be sure to be on your best behavior in the chat. No personal attacks. Everything else is fair game. Just no personal attacks. That said, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you again for the birthday wishes yesterday. I appreciate y'all. Juju, one last word, sir.
I mean, look, I done cut up enough. I guess all I got to say is, bro, hydrate with Henny, bro. Anybody out there, bro? Hydrate with Henny.
That boy said anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Shout out to my guy Juju, man. Marmarski, one last word. First of all, Marmar, never do this again with no light in the background. Go ahead.
Yeah.
We already see that.
Bro, say something.
For real.
Blackface.
the
Dog
chat,
playing.
You're scaring the kids.
Hey, listen. So since we in the background like this, I'm sitting on my porch chilling, enjoying the nice little weather. So listen, I ain't turning my porch light on, but y'all just deal with the darkness. Hey,
Oh my God.
go blue. We are coming. And listen, it's gonna be a fun ride. When we host that national championship trophy this year.
Daddy, this one shy.
Facts. Big facts.
She said, "Is somebody there?" Go ahead. No doubt, man. Hey, Marmar, we always appreciate you, brother.
No, it's not. It ain't 3 a.m., but it is on my porch.
Go blue. Go blue. We're getting you out of here. Go blue. Hey, yo, where's everybody else at? What just happened? There we go. All right. West Quad. We're gonna give you the stage next, brother.
All aboard. Hey, gay. The floor. Hey, the ceiling is the roof, as Michael Jordan said. Hey, look, I'm just saying, bro. I'm all in. If you're not all in, hey, I don't know what it's gonna take, bro. I've heard what I needed to hear as far as the program goes. We gotta take that with a grain of salt, but I'm all in, baby. Go blue. Let's hoist that trophy, baby.
Yes, sir. That's my guy, West Quad, and finally, my guy, your guy, the Maniac.
Yes, sir, man. Again, man. Happy birthday to my brother, the Maze Man. You know, the guy that making this all possible here, man. Give us a platform to come speak Michigan football, man. Shout to all my brothers in the chat, my Michigan brothers, man. It's always great. You know, we all expect good things to happen this season, so we can't wait. But again, you know, follow me at GoBlue_Maniac_24, man. And we out of here until Monday. In the words of my brother, I'm upset.
No doubt. Be sure to follow me everywhere as well at Maze Madman. Until next time, you know the slogan, stay angry, my